My content is not for everyone. I say that respectfully.
No, Evan Trade on me, God darn it. My content is not for everybody. Evan Trade on me. You can go find entertainment somewhere else. Hello. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. Dimming your light. Hold on 1 second. It was never competition, neighbor. Hold on 1 second. How you made yourself relapse only to realize the hold on 1 second? You forgot to understand confidence going within. I was a part of your goddamn circus. None of the train throw for me. You believe in faith and believe in. Hold on 1 second. I take accountability for my actions, and certain individuals ain't gonna be for me. But it's okay. Don't dip your light, neighbor. No other trade over me. A motherfucker will watch you within watching you. Get so mad because hold on 1 second. I choose myself not to dim my light. Evan trade on me. I might not make sense to the average person, but being authentic at the day is not a crime. I say that respectfully, no matter how old or young you are. Be yourself.
I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and my content is not for everyone. Today is currently October 27th, 2025, and it's currently 10:26 p.m. Gang stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes and views or clout chasing. Certain folks will make you feel like you got to come out of pocket. Be in the mindset, hold on 1 second, when you understood comfortability, hold on 1 second, understand that I found peace. I understood that boundaries is different. When I made a mistake, when it came to my past, they would never understand unconditional love truly lasts. How folks would gang stalk you when they come to their tax bracket, with their bad habits, when you have to get physical because someone try to dim your light, when you just fall from fake, being authentic regardless of what's meant to help, because hold on 1 second, God allows you to see why you elevate.
I be yourself with no molestation. My content, everybody. That's okay.
Gang stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes and views or clout chasing on fame. Never allow someone to dim your light, regardless to what county you in, zip code, continent. It's a train of thought for me. Always be yourself. When it comes to gang stalking, they would try to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, even send you the evil lie that don't project spark towards you, even project the hate crime towards you, or even make you homeless at the end of the day. All because you understood the intuition, hold on 1 second, get faith. They would try to distract you right, the left, but that confidence is different. Hold on 1 second, continue to be authentic.
Now, Evan Che gonna be always be yourself with no molestation. My content, everybody. That's okay.
No mother or father should lose a child due to someone's jealousy, envy, insecurity, or someone decided to have low self-esteem or whatever the case may be because they didn't want to pour into themselves. Instead of they project negative energy to send someone spell work or send someone an evil lie or monitor someone's every move because hold on 1 second, someone's trying to rob somebody mentally, spiritually, or financially, or even project a hate crime towards that someone's baby. That mother and father, hold on 1 second. You can't watch your child every minute on the clock when it come to your. Hold on 1 second. Because a mother and father be so confused. Why would you want to hurt my baby at the end of the day when I allow them to feel it's okay to be their authentic self within their own skin? And yeah, I don't tie your shoes the same. Because the enemy would try to distract you. The devil would try to test you. But when God truly shows you that you got the right parents at the end of the day that wasn't doing it for likes, even the cloud chasing, hold on 1 second, they was truly praying for you. That's what the devil don't like, let alone the enemy. Even if you didn't have your moms and your pops to say I love you, at the end of the day, it's someone that didn't have to pretend to actually love you. Hold on 1 second, even on your worst day. I may not make sense to the average person, but be your authentic self. And I say that respectfully. When folks want you to get out of character, or because they're trying to antagonize you, hold on 1 second, it took a whole hate train to go up against one person, but you wasn't trying to hurt nobody.
Evan Trade on me. Oh my gosh.
My content is not for everyone. No mother or father, and I say this respectfully, because not everybody's a mother and father. But a mother and father should never have to get the phone call out of respect because someone's on a job description and doing a job title. I'm sorry to inform you, but your baby didn't make it. I don't wish this on my worst enemy at the end of the day that made me their enemy. And I say that respectfully. No mother or father, regardless of a single family household or not, should have to go through the mindset of losing their mental health because someone didn't understand self-control. Someone didn't understand that, hold on 1 second, those negative energy, the negative energy that you're projecting when it comes to jealousy, envy, or hate, it should be no reason why that child that chose themselves was their own mistake. Because you didn't understand comprehension when it comes to common sense. Someone doesn't want to deal with you no more. It's been years and months at a time. Someone doesn't want you in their environment, their space at the end of the day. 6 feet apart, I didn't know that was a crime. Everybody's not antisocial like the average person. But hold on 1 second, the devil's telling so many lies. How someone could be in their authentic self. Someone could be their authentic self even when they get lost in their words. They was in their own lane. How folks had to create a hate train to dim somebody's life because you was projecting pain.
Infiltrate off of me.
Individuals would gang stalk you, project negative energy towards you, because you may be a popular loner or you may be an antisocial person. And that's not a crime to be in your own comfort zone. That's not a crime to not affiliate yourself with everybody, because all help ain't good help and everybody's not for you. But you still know how to respect your neighbor, regardless of zip code, county, or continent you at the end of the day. How folks will try to ruin your reputation, but hold on 1 second. God allows you to see why you overcame someone's mistakes. Because someone wanted you to be the mistake because they wanted you to be a crash out. They was testing you, but only was the hold on 1 second. God trusted you. God trusts you with the inner knowing at the end of the day. If I'm not going to get discouraged because my past allowed me to see my mistakes, if God is allowing me to see why I'm choosing myself to understand that nobody could walk a day in my shoes, thank you, God, for giving me the proper tools to allow me to see that when someone antagonizes me, regardless of their culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age, at the end of the day, you allow me to see why I endured balance when I didn't have the proper knowledge, when I almost lost myself, even when the devil was trying to stop me, test me, throw spoke right to left, sending me the evil lie. I had folks at the end of the day could be my grandmother age.
No, infiltrate on me, trying to hurt me. What the fuck?
It'd be the train of thought for me, talking about to teach you a lesson. Imagine someone telling your child that at the end of the day, all because you taught them a valuable lesson. Never allow someone to hold on 1 second, shortchange your prayer when you hold on 1 second, understood that you are worthy, to understand your reflection, that you are a miracle. Never give up on yourself, even days when I don't see you. It's a train of thought for me. Because there'll be days and moments in someone's child's life where that child may not be heard, that child may be overlooked. But hold on 1 second, a mother or father was a little bit too busy, but hold on 1 second. They still one phone call away to say I love you. My content is not for everyone. No mother or father, regardless of what spirituality you in, what culture you are, your age, your religion, your sexual orientation, your disability, at the end of the day, if you came from a single family household or not, or if you came from poverty and pain, no mother or father or family member deserves a phone call because someone is jealous, envious. They was a hater. They had to create a hate train to rob somebody mentally, spiritually, financially. Not only that, but project sport towards somebody so they won't be able to elevate in life. So they won't be able to have those financial stability, go from point A to Z. That miracle that you told them that they could be anybody they want to be at the end of the day?
No, infiltrate on me. People just don't want you to elevate. Like, come on now, for reference, just stay in your life, hater.
Because there's real adults out here that got a little sense at the end of the day. They may be a little crazy, but at the end of the day, they still know how to respect their neighbor. But they not trying to get out of pocket because they understood their character. Because folks would try to test you, but hold on 1 second, you was more than gangsta at the end of it because you didn't have to play but spoke in a toxic way when folks really needed a tissue.
No, infiltrate on me. Why are you bothering innocent people for, you dumbass?
Folks could project at the end of the day. Because when someone takes your kindness for weakness, they feel like because nobody's going to believe it, they're willing to paint you to be crazy, slow, stupid, and retarded. People would create a hate train. People would be amongst groups just to tear you down. They would say you're an addict, you're a sex worker, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, when you're none of the aboves. It'd be the train of thought for me. Or even if it was one part of your life where you felt uncomfortable, but you found you, but you still feel uncomfortable, but you're trying to see who you are. To find out at the end of the day, I can't allow my pain to hurt me. That's not who I was 10 years ago. Listen, my content is everybody. And I say that respectfully. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, but I know how to respect my neighbor. No mother or father should have their child stripped away from them because someone has jealousy, envy, and hate, or someone wants to energy harvest of someone's energy, or someone wants to project spell work, or someone wants to control the narrative how that mother and father love themselves. Because an individual will paint a picture at the end of the day that you're an addict, that you're this, that you're that, just to ruin your self-esteem, just to ruin you from pouring into your child. And know at the end of the day that fight will never be over until your child understands at the end of the day, I'm going to forever fix your crown. No mother or father should have to go days and weeks at the end of the day knowing that someone's mindset allowed them to feel that they wasn't worthy because someone lacked self-control. Because hold on 1 second, you understood your boundaries. You knew how to protect your baby, respect your baby, pour into your baby, protect them. I'm going to say that again. You know, when it comes to their heart, when the world's against them, because you're going to have individuals sending spoken in a toxic way. But that mother that actually prays, that father that actually prays, when someone didn't pray for them, or someone was seeking revenge, or someone was trying to hurt them, regardless if they came from poverty and pain, that mother and father knew how to pour into that child. And they are deserving of their child being by their side. And I say that respectfully. You know, my content is not for everybody, and I may not make sense to the average person. I'm healing from a hate crime that was done to me. You know, regardless to what man is threatening my life, regardless to what woman is threatening my life, or a child at the end of the day that's hacking my devices, my accounts, or monitoring my every move, I do not live in fear. Gang stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes and views of clout chasing or fame. I am my biggest cheerleader. We all don't pray the same. And that's okay. But the God that I pray to at the end of the day is no malicious intentions. My soul was never for sale, and I was still keeping it real. I knew how to respect my neighbor when he can understand the reflection, going within understanding unconditional love. They had so much bad habits when it come to their past. They brought into their reality. Hold on 1 second. We supposed to be on 2 time zones, but they didn't understand at the end of the day, stay in their lane. It'd be the train of thought for me, how they would astral travel towards you, invade your space, throw sport in a toxic way, put sport in front of your door. Then when you speak up for yourself, they said, hold on 1 second, you mentally unstable, and so they want to do you wrong. How folks look at you like competition because you understood your future. Hold on 1 second, I was really paying attention, being authentic. How folks will try to steal your swag, but God endorsed something within you they can't take away because it wasn't on you, it's within you. The hand is just different. Something that folks can't relate to is being authentic.
No, and the trick with me, I gotta stop. No, for real, for real. Hold on 1 second, I'm just getting started. Oh.
Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully.
Peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. Hi to the genuine ones only. I'm peace, I bring peace. Peace and respect, don't dim your light. Hold on 1 second, you're more than lucky. A miracle, don't dim your light. A miracle, don't dim your light. You're beautiful, you're handsome, don't dim your light. I'm peace, I bring peace. Stop the violence. Gotta go.
I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and my content is not for everyone. I would never hurt myself regardless of what man or woman is willing to blackmail me against me, or even make me homeless, or even trying to project negative energy towards me, or even use my documentations against me at the end of the day. I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself in all intentions.
Entertainment purposes only. No, it's a trade on me, God darn it. You ever had that one family member? Hey, cousin, what's up? No, it's a trade though for me. You ever had that one family member that you love so dearly at the end of the day, but you know, they can't be in the kitchen for so long at the end of the day. No, it's a trade on me. What the hell did you do wrong, God damn it? You ever had someone give them like instructions in the day, like an aunt or uncle or sister, sibling? You put a name in your book. How you mess up spaghetti? It's a trade though for me. How? You ever had that last box of noodles? I wanted to eat that. What the fuck? And the truth of me, you know, it's not about first time cookers at the end of the day because things do happen in life. But this motherfucker cannot cook for a goddamn thing to save their goddamn life. What the fuck? And the truth of me, you give this idiot the proper instructions, what to do, how to do it, whatever the case may be. Why is the noodles looking like soup and goo? It's the truth of me. Ew, it's mad watery. You can drain it so many times because when you know and you know what they know at the end of the day, when you let noodles sit in the pot for too long in water, it ain't gonna be good. No, it's the truth of me. Try if you want to at the day. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? I didn't sign up for this. No, it's the truth though for me.
It was the intelligence at the end of the day, a life skill they can't relate to, saying that you was mentally ill, but you was truly far from that. Didn't have to put your name in competition, but hold on 1 second, you was even better than that. You know, because God truly showed you balance when it come to common sense at the end of the day. Yeah, you was a lucky player at the end of the day on God's team when God spent the block. I may not make sense to the average person, but being authentic, even when they gang stalked me, that those spoken in a toxic way, I wasn't trying to lose my sight of day when it come to my vision. Yeah, they was playing with spell work. I ain't got a lot, but I ain't have to dibble and dabble to tell so many lies. Hippie to train a thought for me because I wasn't running from my past. Something they can't relate to is truly being woke. So they gotta make you feel uncomfortable in your own skin. Something they can relate to is self-love. Hold on one second, what happened to your confidence? You know, individuals will hack your devices, try to distract you, but truly wasn't trying to act out because you was far from the fool. Being authentic, they would never understand your potential. Yo, I love myself at the end of the day. I'm my biggest cheerleader at the end of the day, regardless who's gang stalking me. How folks gotta paint a picture at the end of the day when I wasn't even bothering nobody.
Don't have the strength off me.
Because when you start to speak up for yourself, they quit to call you crazy. Or because, hold on one second, we wasn't on the same page when it came to that elevator that day. But I still knew how to respect my neighbor, even when it couldn't relate to unconditional love. Started with it, and it starts with, hold on one second, it was never competition. When you was truly competing, you was competing, neighbor.
It was one-sided. How you left yourself and dust. Pick yourself up. Come here, let me dust you off.
You know, that's how type of respect I give at the end of the day. It's crazy how folks will take your kindness or weakness and disrespect you out loud, all because you believe in LOVE. Self-love is different, far from fake, being authentic. You know how to have manners at the end of the day. How folks would try to play in your face. They would do things just to get a reaction out of you, all because, hold on one second, they want you to crash out, but you was far from that dummy at the end of the day. When God truly revealed the devil, alone, the enemy. Hold on one second, they said that you whack and you corny, but hold on one second, I wasn't looking for revenge when it came to overcoming the pain. The angel's different. You know, regardless to what man or woman is plotting against me to pay me out to beat somebody truly not at the end of the day, or a child, I would never hurt myself. I never gave nobody permission to use my documentation to blackmail me against me. I never gave nobody permission to hack my device, my accounts, my emails, or gang stalk me. You know, someone will make you their enemy, and then they will have people watching you try to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, or they would even project sport towards you. And then when they get this group of people to go up against you, now you're the bad guy because these folks made themselves your enemy. And because you spoke up for yourself at the end of the day, they quit to call you slow, stupid, and retarded, that nobody's going to hear your voice. Because they behind closed doors making sure at the end of the day that you don't grow. They want you to they want you to have that dilemma when it comes to pain. But God works in mysterious ways, even on your rainy days. They say where your God at now when your back is against the wall, how they trying to make you homeless or do you wrong, how they got certain documentation to blackmail you to get you locked up, put you in the psych ward, let them strip you away from your own finances, how this type of stuff actually happens. Or because, hold on one second, you knew how to speak up for yourself when they said that you was mentally unstable, but you truly was strong. You know, I put everything in God's hands. You know, when it comes to finance, when it comes to putting my food in my stomach, when it comes to me respecting my neighbor, even if they don't like me for their own personal reasons or they gain at the end of the day, or whatever topic it is, I put it in God's hands. Individuals want to get a reaction out of you so bad when it comes to elevation. You know, no mother or father should have to deal with a conversation or a phone call because someone projected jealousy, envy, or hate on a baby. It's a sin of thought for me. Maybe someone may be more gifted than someone. Someone may be more spiritual than someone. Someone may be able to do something better than somebody at the end of the day. But it was never competition. Because you always told your child in the day, as long as you try, never dim your light. That ain't just different, regardless of what they want to do in life. You know, it doesn't take for a mother or father to be in a child's life at the end of the day. For a child to know that they are loved and they are welcome in the right people's hands and know at the end of the day that one day the right people will see you, hear you, and respect you with no misintentions, regardless to what environment that you're in at the end of the day. You know, my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. Gang stalking is real. It didn't matter someone's tax bracket. It didn't matter someone's community. When someone decides to gang stalk you, how folks will watch you within watch you from the time that you walk out your door, even if you're going from state to state or going country to country. They got somebody watching every move. How this type of stuff actually happens when you're dealing with gang stalking. Because it's real. It's because it's not going on in your household. It's going on in someone's household. Never allow someone to project fear in you. Never allow someone to make you feel like you're not worthy of choosing you. Because your voice does matter when the right people see you, hear you, respect you. That relationship didn't work out for all the right reasons. The abuse, the neglect, the disrespect. Hold on one second. Blood pressure going sky high. Trying to figure out your mental health. Hold on one second. You ain't trying to DIE. Ain't be the train of thought for me. Only was hold on one second. You witnessed the gravity because the universe is truly beautiful when you least expect it. A letting go, hold on one second. What wasn't serving you, but you wasn't running from your past when it came to your reflection. How the love of your life will walk into your life when you least expect it. Hold on one second. They was truly holding it down. So you hold on one second. It wasn't a mistake when it came to hold on one second. You ain't got trust issues today. You ain't got trust issues today. Or even that job. Because everything is not for everybody. Just like everybody is not for everybody. Like all help is not good help. Someone will say they would like to help you hold the door. Someone will say they will help you do this or whatever the case may be. Only to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially. Even try to blackmail you against you. And paint you to be mentally unstable because why? You speak up for yourself. Because the devil tried to tell so many lies. Something that you wasn't running from. He say, she say. Even when it was lies at the end of the day, wasn't running from your past. They would never understand. Hold on one second. I wasn't seeking revenge. I was just being authentic. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. It's not. I love to talk about love.
Now, as a train of thought for me, I do. Love is real, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you.
Imagine someone actually seeing you. That connection is different. The universe only realized the hold on one second. It wasn't a mistake when it comes to your reflection. Hold on one second. The stars was actually working. You know, the moon cycle at the end of the day, they would never understand how you pray to go within, understand your reflection. You know, being in someone's space, you didn't have to dim their light, disrespect them or do them wrong. You know how to treat them right. The first time around, that energy is different. Being relatable to someone at the end of the day only was the hold on one second. It was never competition. Who would have knew that true love wouldn't hurt you? You know, someone allowed you to see. You know, roses are red, violets are blue, but someone truly allowed you to feel that hold on one second. Not only do I can engage into your beautiful brown eyes, you put a name in your book. But I see, butterfly, the energy is different. How time allows you to heal. Only with the hold on one second, your past allows you to heal. I may not make sense to the average person, but those wounds was deep when you least expected. Having a heart, who would have knew that it will allow you to see a testimony that someone could truly be on the same page when it come to being authentic. You know, someone wasn't switching up on you, having a cake and eat it too. Hold on one second. It wasn't part of your past. It wasn't part of your past. When you start to think, it was part of your past. You moving forward with better days. You ever got choked up with your own words? Only was the hold on one second. Where time allowed you to feel like why you truly waited. You waited for the right person to fulfill shoes when it comes to your future, treating you right the first time around with no hidden agendas. The energy is different when y'all both on two different time zones. Only was the hold on one second, y'all truly locked in and understand that hold on one second. Time did not mislead you wrong. You know, because divine timing is different. Someone sees you, hears you, respects you, cheering you on, up close in person behind closed doors. The energy is different. You know, someone didn't have to manipulate God when someone actually knew how to value your time. Only was to hold on one second. Thank you, God, for being patient. Someone's really praying for you, not against you. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Someone truly, just because moments, bringing peace into your life. Someone knew how to maintain a conversation with you. You know, emotionally available. Who would have knew that a stable conversation will allow you to feel that, hold on one second, I'm very so much thankful for my boundaries today. Not only thank you for your boundaries, but true love allow you to feel. True love allow you to see. True love. You are a miracle. Because some people at the end of the day wasn't supposed to see it when it comes to this new chapter called life. But who would have knew that true love would meet you halfway? Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully. Because when the right person walks into your life,
Love is real, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you.
you know that dream, that faith is different. God was sweet cooking something up only to understand your reflection. Only to understand your reflection. Only to understand your reflection. You ever had a speech problem? Or you having a delay or whatever the case may be when it comes to being sick? Mentally, spiritually, or financially. It be the train of thought for me having the right person by your side. They wasn't trying to hurt you. They actually encourage you in the most healthiest way. Even days when you couldn't get out of bed, you was truly sick. How someone actually had your back, only as a hold on one second. Your past allowed you to feel what love actually felt like. But true love hits different today. When you want to grow old with somebody, you fall in love with them every single day. When you want to show up for somebody, you show up for them every single day. When you got the right person in your life, you show up for them every single day. Because at the end of the day, if someone is genuinely trying to meet you halfway, they're cheering you on up close in person and behind closed doors. The energy does not switch up because someone's truly praying for you, not against you. Who would have knew that true love will allow you to feel? It's so true. I may not make sense to the average person, but that's okay.
Dim you like, dim you like, dim you like, neighbor. Dim you like, dim you like, dim you like, neighbor. No after train of thought for me. Neighbor, 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 neighbor. I'm far from hating, neighbor, 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 neighbor. Your excuses.
Hold on 1 second. He said make sure that at the end of the day your grass is actually clean. When it comes to the trimming, so you can actually see the revenge at the end of the day when you truly paying attention. Or you realize that, hold on 1 second, your garden was actually flowing when it came to blessing. You was truly a miracle. But God truly revealed the devil, let alone the enemy on 2 different levels. They would never understand that, hold on 1 second, you all gonna confuse the enemy. The devil. It be the train of thought for me. How chicks and dudes gotta throw spoke in a toxic way, all because you knew how to maintain your guard. Something they can relate to was gone within. It's a challenge for them, so they gotta disrespect you. Had folks in different tax bracket, only reason you wasn't the issue. You had addicts, people in different tax bracket trying to wild out. Hold on 1 second, you understood confidence when it come to evening exchange. I was far from fake, being authentic.
Hey, ever trained on me. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
You'd be so surprised what they look like. And I say that respectfully. Hold on 1 second. You ever said I wanted to choose myself and blossom? Elevation is different when it comes to God's knowledge. I'm not pushing God on nobody, but God worked miracles in my life at the end of the day when I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I know how it feels not to have food in my stomach, let alone my refrigerator at the end of the day, maybe behind on a couple of bills or two, or whatever the case may be, but God truly allowed me to see what miracles look like. Hold on 1 second. Your point of view. Even when the devil try to shortchange you, because the devil and the enemy, they be plotting against your finances so bad. But hold on 1 second. God truly allows you to see why God endured a gift within you. FAITH, that faith is different. They say where your God at now, and hold on 1 second, when they try to rob you. The snake at the end of the day, they gotta throw spoke in a toxic way. They would rather take your kindness or weakness because you said excuse me when you wasn't thinking that you was better than nobody. But hold on 1 second, didn't matter if they was in the HRA department or not. It could have been that, hold on 1 second, customer service when they had a vision to try to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, or alone somebody from your past. It'd be the train of thought for me how gang stalking is real, all because you understood unconditional love can truly last, and how that stuff truly bothers someone's mental health, growing, understanding pain. The challenge hits different, overcoming what you've been through every single day.
They said, Duet, King your corner, you ain't nobody. They said, Duet, King your corner, you ain't nobody. RESPCT, neighbor, 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 neighbor. I'm far from a hater. No, for real, for real.
It be this train of thought for me. I don't dibble and dabble with spell work or play with magic at the end of the day. It be the train of thought for me. I just understood God's miracle. I prayed to go within. Even when the devil tried to stop me, I continue to flow at the end of the day. Even when the enemy tried to size me, antagonize me, get me out of character, but I understood that, hold on 1 second, it was a puzzle to my madness. That was unconditional love because God had a better plan to understand my reflection. I may not make sense to the average person, but being authentic is not a crime. How you got folks in different tags bracket ganging up on one person, or because they want you to dim you like you never had to say someone's name, not even one time. It be the train of thought for me. I'm far from dealing with dibble and dabble with drama, but I'm gonna always speak up for myself at the end of the day when you said I wasn't tough.
No, and the train on me. Oh my God, I put it in God's head, baby, baby, baby. Hey, just leave me alone.
It be the train of thought for me. How can you believe in hope when the devil wants revenge, let alone the enemy at the end of the day, or because, hold on 1 second, they want to fight you because you didn't know how to go within? I'm not supposed to get out of character for the devil or the enemy. They said I was a crash out. Nobody's hearing me. It be the train of thought for me. Good luck, bad luck. Hold on 1 second. God's luck. When you're a child of God, that energy is different. I believe it's they can't relate to how God promoted me to understand my reflection. Because when God elevates you in life, that energy is different. Some folks don't have a heart, let alone a soul, or because, hold on 1 second, they looked at you like competition when you was never competing. Always be yourself with no intentions.
I pray, pray, I pray. I pray, I pray, I pray. I pray, I pray, I pray for you, neighbor. Never dim your light when it comes to loving yourself. Never dim your light when it comes to loving yourself. Her mother and father's prayer. It didn't matter if they came from a divided household or not. At the end of the day, they made some mistakes. But that mother and father that wasn't doing it for likes and views. They understood they carried their traits that hold on one second. The devil tried to confuse them, but God allowed them to see the reflection that hold on one second. You are worthy. Understand that you got a miracle. You know that baby that you brought into this world. You wouldn't miss a day. Only was the hold on one second. You had to keep it real. It was days at the end of the day. You didn't understand your own self-reflection, but going within to understand the storm that you was willing to overcome. Hold on one second. God was pointing in the right direction. It was folks trying to test you. Those spoke in a toxic way. You ain't have to dibble and dabble at that type of stuff because you truly woke at the end of the day when you was almost gone. You know, far gone from yourself. It was days that you didn't even want to be on this earth. But who would have knew that you stand before yourself today, looking your kids in the eye, say that, hold on one second, I'm very so much thankful. I made mistakes. It be the train of thought for me. I give credit and respect when it's due, but everybody's not a mother and father, and I say that respectfully, but you are true. You show up good day, bad day, misunderstanding days, yeah, them sick days is real. Now, it's a trait on me. Hold on one second, especially if you're a father. Oh, Lord. You gotta deal with PMS in time, too. Lord, Jesus, go get the pads now. And especially when ain't no woman around. It's a trait on me. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Oh, they stressing you out, huh? It be a train of thought for me. Or that moms and pops that got a school-age baby on the world that we actually see. Because the devil was real. The enemy would try to paint you to be mentally ill. You know, they would try to size you up regardless of your pockets to end if you came from poverty and pain. Wow. How this type of stuff actually happens. Or because the mother and father decide to say, hold on one second, I'm willing to change. I may not pray the same as the average person, but I knew how to respect my neighbor even days when I couldn't see. What I did behind closed doors, they would never relate. I was just only trying to find me. Thank you, God, for being patient with me. A child is a blessing. A child is a miracle. That child didn't ask to be here, but you was truly keeping it real. Being a man and being a father, that ain't just different. Someone look at you like that. You know, a mom, that ain't just different. It's not just a title. It's a superhero. You know, because a mother's strength is different. Holding away at the end of the day when the world's against their baby. Hold on one second. I just want to pray for my child. It didn't matter your culture, your religion, your sexual orientation, disability, your age. The energy is different when a man gets on his knees, and I don't mean no disrespect, but actually pray for their baby. Imagine a man walking into a room, not to hurt his child, but to pray over his child as they sleep. I'm very so much thankful that God allowed me to stay to understand why I keep my children protected. It's the train of thought for me, my conscience, everybody. But never allow yourself to dim your light because someone overlooked you. Because you matter. The little things count. Being the best father and mother. Everybody's a mother and father. Just because you have a child at the end of the day. And especially a mother and father that doesn't energy harvest their children's energy, or project spoil towards a child, or send a child the evil lie, or try to bring harm towards a child at the end of the day. Did I say spell work? It's a train of thought for me. It's not your mindset. You're telling your child that they could become who they want to be in the most healthiest way. Either that judge, that doctor, that lawyer, regardless of their culture. You know, because certain cultures don't want certain other cultures to elevate in life. And I'm far from racist at the end of the day. And especially when it's a certain individual or religion, sexual orientation, disability, age, when it's certain individuals that they see potential within. How they would try to strip something away from something. How they would try to strip something that God endowed in somebody because someone believed in their faith. And it shouldn't have to be your baby that day. And I say that respectfully because the devil's real and the enemy is really real. You don't have to know somebody for someone to project spell towards you. You don't have to know someone for someone to send you the evil eye. You don't have to know someone for them to gang stalk you. You can walk past a random person at the end of the day, and they'll be projecting spell towards you. Or you could speak up for yourself and someone decide to take your kindness or weakness, or everybody wanted to be on the same page when it comes to the hate train. And say, you know what, well, I felt like they was talking about me, so I'm going to put myself part of this conversation and join the hate train with these individuals in the day. How individuals actually think like that. Well, people be like, oh, I'm going to make an assumption that they was talking about me.
just for someone to project spoke on somebody, or someone to project a hate crime towards somebody, or for someone to rob somebody mentally, spiritually, financially. And the list goes on. You know, gang stalking is real to your household. You're not doing it for like physical household of fame. How individuals will hack your devices, your accounts, your emails. They will monitor your mail. They will control your phone, who can call you or not at the end of the day. They will try to project a hate crime towards you, rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, or even energy, harvest off your energy, or project spell towards you. I'm Naya, genuine respect, and I do not live in fear, regardless to what man or woman or child is trying to project fear towards me, or is trying to humble me, or is trying to make me feel like I'm not worthy of choosing me. I would never hurt myself. You know, when someone threatens your life and you try to speak up for yourself, never make yourself feel like your voice does not matter. And especially when individuals work with certain departments when it comes to legal or whatever the case may be, never get discouraged or never allow someone to project fear on you. I walk these streets alone. I would never hurt myself, and I don't fear nobody that bleed the same way I do.
We just don't got the same blood type. It's the trade off of me. Ah. Whew. Peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. No, for real. Why y'all watching us over the day? You know you could watch somebody else. No, the trade off me. Sitting the evil lie, projecting spell word, gang stalking, all that type of stuff. We see you. We see you. Hello. And stop astral traveling your silly having ass over here. What's wrong with your dumb ass? Ah, I gotta go. Stop the violence. Peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence.
I'm Naya, genuine respect, and we do live in a spiritual world. People pick and choose who could talk about God, the devil, spirituality, narcotics, violence, hate crime, discrimination, domestic violence. People pick and choose who could talk about these type of topics. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully, regardless of who's trying to blackmail me against me, regardless of who's trying to make me homeless or try to rob me mentally, spiritually, financially, or regardless to who's sending me the evil eye or opinions broken towards me at the end of the day. I never knew it was a crime to go outside. At the end of the day, it's a certain thought for me. How individuals with gang stalk you and monitor every move at the end of the day. And then when you speak up for yourself, they quit to say you're mentally unstable, but your voice matters. You know, regardless to who didn't know how to love you, respect you, and protect you, never allow that to stop you from growing as a person. And I say that respectfully. Never shortchange yourself because someone didn't understand that, hold on 1 second, you are worthy of growth. Especially when you don't run from your past. That ain't just different because we are all not the same.
And I'm far from a hitter. I gotta go.
You know, individuals will say that you don't got potential, but they monitor your every move to project the hate crime towards you, rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, or even project the hate group towards you. And even pay people from your past that's not even part of your chapter today. Just to get a reaction out of you, or to do humiliation rituals or whatever the case may be, or to make you feel that you're supposed to feel not worthy of yourself. You're supposed to be embarrassed as to who you're becoming. When you don't run from your past, and you don't run from he say, she say, even if folks is lying at the end of the day, we not the same. Being authentic. It's a certain thought for me. How someone will watch you, and they'll be such haters. They could have more than you, or even less than you. Regardless of keeping poverty and pain or not. But they look at you like competition, and because it's you, they ain't gonna put respect on your name. They would try to ruin your reputation, your love life, your finances, or who even trying to work with you at the end of the day. And the list goes on. Because they want you to be in a mindset of being broken. They want you to be in a mindset of not believing in faith. Because we all don't pray the same, and God was never like the physical cloud of fame. And you can disrespect me all day long about that at the end of the day, because this is only God's strength. When you choose yourself, can't nobody dim your light. And I say that respectfully. Nobody. And when someone sees that when someone says you don't have potential, when you really do, that does not mean stop showing up for yourself. That does not mean stop loving yourself. That does not mean stop choosing who you're willing to become. I may not make sense to the average person, And that's okay. Loving yourself is not a crime. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself, regardless of who's plotting against me. I never sign up for someone's one-sided contract. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. How folks will make money off of you, and then say that you're mentally unstable and you're crazy because they're trying to rob you. It's a shame to throw for me. I never signed up for someone's one-sided contract, and I never signed up for someone to gang stalk me and monitor my every move. You know, individual will take your kindness or weakness and will try to project fear in you because of their tax bracket or because they have more popularity in a community or zip code or continent or whatever the case may be to ruin your reputation, or because they don't want people to see that you're telling the truth as to what they did to you. One thing I don't do is run from my past, and I say that respectfully. Never allow someone to project fear in you because you understood it. Hold on 1 second. Everybody's not for you. It's just a train to throw for me. All help ain't good help. It's not. And I would never hurt myself, regardless to who's projecting fear on me and who's gang stalking me, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I walk these streets alone. I do not live in fear. Always be yourself. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect.
Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? Stop the violence in the community.
You know, regardless to who has me shadow banned or whatever the case may be, I would never hurt myself. And that goes for anybody else that's watching me. Regardless if you're an entrepreneur, not a content creator, whatever the case may be, never allow someone to make you feel like you gotta stop choosing you. And I say that respectfully. Because when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hear you, respect you. They act in a body weight, size, or whatever the case may be, not their shoe size. And I say that respectfully.
Cause they far from hate, so they don't got time to see you spell all the evil out, all ganging with that hate train. And Drake on me, we are all not the same.
Regardless, they came from poverty and pain. They ain't had malicious intentions when they was actually rooting you on. They wanted you to become your best self version of yourself. Hold on 1 second. Who would have knew that you're passing them in reality today? Or because, hold on 1 second, someone sees you. That ain't just different. Because when someone genuinely is not for you at the end of the day, even when they walk into your life, they know how to move on with their life. They know how to respect you enough at the end of the day.
6 feet apart, 20 feet apart. Have a good day.
I ain't gotta send you the evil lie. I ain't gotta project sport to you. I ain't gotta do no voodoo, witchcraft, or whatever case it be. I ain't gotta do that.
Have a nice day. Straight on me. Always be yourself and no misintentions.
Peace and respect, your name is the ones you better run on them. You're like, gotta go, never on them. You're like, I gotta go. I'm Naya, genuine respect. And when it comes to my creativity, I work alone. It's currently 10:57 p.m. Always be yourself. I work alone when it comes to my creativity, regardless of what next door neighbor, what tax bracket is trying to blackmail me against me. And I say respectfully, I always work by myself since day one. I'm far from a copycat.
I am the Drake on me. I'm too authentic for that. No, for real, for real. Always be yourself, but no malicious. I gotta go.
Always be yourself. It's not a crime to be yourself. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. I don't worship the devil. I worship the good God with all his intentions. And my soul is never for sale, and I say that respectfully. We all don't pray the same, but I'm far from a hater, regardless on your rainy day. I know how to give respect when it's due. I know how to give flowers when it's due at the end of the day. I don't look at my neighbor like competition and never did. It'd be the same thought for me when you overlook me.
Cause you got too goddamn big head. I gotta go.